It's Wednesday, the 12th of February. Let me just walk you through the trading day. You can see the numbers look very negative across a number of markets. The GSE fell about a quarter of a percent, led by resources down about 0.75%. The financial services down 0.3%, just about 12 basis points upside for the industrial names on that exchange. The Egyptian stock market pulled back from the 30,000, the EGX 30 by 1.14%. The BRVM in Cote d'Ivoire was down by 13. The Nairobi stock market was negative 0.38%. Tuesday, the Nigerian market eked out 0.65%, a very big trading on the shares of Dangote Cement, 5.3%, and Transcorp, roughly 9%. And that's just on the equity side. Let's get on to see what else is making headlines across Africa, starting with East Africa. As always, Kenya's cabinet has approved $33 billion as the spending plan for the 2026 fiscal year for President Ruto's administration. In the meantime, Uganda, the EU and the European and the East African community has launched a 30 billion shillings project to boost trade and integration for these landlocked East African economy. Tanzania is looking to conclude talks for LNG projects by June. That will be a very game changer for President Samia Suluhu Hassan's administration. In the meantime, Tanzania is also prepping regulations to ban FX for local transactions. You can use dollar, euro, pound sterling, any other currency in Tanzania. That's what the new regulation will do. Try to support the local currency, the Tanzanian shillings. Iraq says it's reaching off $256 million debt by Mozambique, which was part of the oil supply for the Southern African country. Let's move it to West Africa, where Nigeria is looking is collaborating with India to, of course, for what you call energy transition. That's one big news Nigeria is looking at. In the meantime, a federal high court in Lagos has decided that about 6.5 billion worth of shares in Keystone Bank will be transferred to the Nigerian government. Keystone Bank was taken over by the regulators, the NDIC, AMCON, the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria, a couple of years ago. Now, the problem with that commercial lender is not over yet. In the market is the VFD Group. VFD is a company involved in banking, non-banking, energy, real estate, tourism, financing in Nigeria, and is now in the market to raise about 6 billion local currency. That's a Series 5 of its commercial paper. That's a 270-day paper being priced at 30% implied yield. You want to see that up. USAID freeze around the world by President Trump is creating some tough time. Ghana, therefore, is looking to provide $156 million in funding gap to support the services and the support that USAID had earlier provided in supporting HIV/AIDS vaccines and a few other things in the West African country, and of course across a number of jurisdictions around the world. Mali, northern around the Sahel, says it's starting to impose taxes on mobile phone usage. The idea is to find necessary funding to support its war on terror within the Sahel region. Let's take that to southern Africa, where the South Africa itself is looking to ease the rules for deals with states if those deals are under $108 million in value. Maize production in Namibia dropped drastically because of drought. That's the impact of climate change. El Nino ravaging a number of economies in southern Africa, Namibia, Malawi. Take it a bit to Zambia, Zimbabwe as well. South Africa feeling a bit of that impact as well. And China says it's backing South Africa's presidency of the G20, while the United States says it's not going to be part of the meetings that will be taking place in South Africa this year. Get your bearing right. And that's what Namibian beer Qual is doing, is entering Kenya's middle-class market with a premium brand that it believes that is going to help it grab a share of the Kenyan market. And finally, in that region, Zimbabwe's gold coins now selling for as high as $3,000 because gold prices surging roughly $3,000 an ounce, $2,903 on Tuesday market close again because of Donald Trump imposing 25 import tariffs on steel and aluminum products being getting to the United States. And of course, central bankers around the world are also buying gold into their reserves fast and furious. Let's finish it up in North Africa and see a couple of news with Egypt looking to attract Qatari and Bahrainian investments in the industry and the transport sector. In Morocco, 4 agreements have been signed under King Mohammed in Asura to develop local handicraft. The handicraft industry in Morocco is estimated at about $14 billion in revenue annually. That's roughly 7% of the country's GDP. But the IMF has told Morocco to target 2% inflation this year and cut the debt so they can stimulate further growth of this economy. And finally, in the latest Transparency International Corruption Perception Index, Morocco has fallen 2 steps backwards and is now ranked 99th in the world as far as corruption perception ranking is concerned. Now, those are your headlines. What are you expecting today? At least we're getting a number of central banks in Africa, Frontier Africa, to announce their interest rates. So keep your eyes on today, tomorrow with Namibia and the National Bank of Rwanda. Those are your headlines. Tuesday, the 12th, or Wednesday, the 12th of February. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you back soon on Frontier Opening Bell.